Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. The primary responsibility of an electric cooperative board of directors is to translate owner wishes into organizational performance. Now, I've had the privilege of working with the Wright-Hennepin board and CEO and management team for almost 20 years now. And in most of those engagements, it relates to my facilitation of their strategic planning process. Now, when you think about the term strategic planning, you probably think about a bunch of executives who go off-site someplace, talk for a couple of days, they produce a report, and it gets put on the shelf and collects dust until the next time they do the process. Well, that's not the case here at Wright-Hennepin. At Wright-Hennepin, your board gets together, they assess your owner wishes. They talk about how those wishes are staying the same, how those wishes may be changing, and how the cooperative can respond to your owner wishes, your expectations for this cooperative. Imagine an in-depth discussion between your directors and your CEO and your management team, supported with various reports like the examples that you've seen here tonight, with forecasts and predictions, and the expert advice and thoughts from other industry experts. Now, critical to these discussions is the ability of your board and your CEO and management team to look at all facets of an issue, to challenge traditional thinking, and to challenge each other's thoughts and ideas. The product is this strategic plan. Let me test it. Nope, no dust. All right, no, my hands are clean, no dust. Thanks to a couple of you for finding humor in that. The outcome of this strategic planning process is a set of goals from the board of directors to your CEO, Mark Vogt. Mark and the management team then get together and they develop a number of initiatives, actions that the management team will take in order to fulfill those board goals. Now, Mark holds the management team responsible for completing those initiatives. Your board holds Mark accountable for achieving the board goals. But the question is, who holds the board accountable? Well, the answer, of course, is you, the members of the cooperative. And that's the best part about a cooperative business model, our cooperative form of ownership. It's a member-owned organization. It's local. You live here and you work in the Wright and Hennepin counties. Your management team, your CEO, your board of directors are accessible. If you want to talk to them, you can have a face-to-face meeting with them anytime you want to. Talk to them about what you think the cooperative is doing well and ways in which the cooperative can improve. Now, I would have to say that the defining decision that the Wright-Hennepin board made was when they set a goal to have electric rates competitive, comparable to those of Xcel Energy. In the late 1980s, Wright-Hennepin had over 40% rate disparity. They believed that the most significant owner wish that was not being fulfilled was to have competitive electric rates, rates competitive to Xcel Energy. Now, I can't tell you how unique it is for an electric cooperative to say that they're going to have rates comparable to an investor-owned utility. Investor-owned utilities enjoy significant size advantage, consumer composition, and economy of scale advantages that smaller cooperatives just can't compete with. So what your board said was, Wright-Hennepin as a cooperative with 48,000 members and about 13 consumers per mile, or density, was going to have rates equal to an investor-owned utility who serves 1.2 million consumers just in the state of Minnesota, with average consumers per mile of line of 38. Now, this is akin to a small local retail store saying that they're going to have prices equal to Walmart's prices, despite the fact that Walmart enjoys massive economy of scale advantages because of their size and the scope. Well, the question is, how did this goal become a reality? Well, your board had two choices. Choice number one, cut and slash immediately and regardless of the potential impacts on reliability or customer service. Or choice number 2, to set realistic, short-term, reachable, interim goals that may be achieved without compromising other corporate goals or meeting lender requirements. And obviously, the board chose choice number 2, the smart choice. They said, let's go from 40 to 30% rate disparity. And then let's get to 25. And then to 20, to 15, to 10, to 5, to 3%. You know, I will always remember the session in which the group said, let's have rates equal to Excel's rates. You know, that was a combined reflection on everything that the board, your CEO, your management team, and all of the employees here at Wright-Hennepin had accomplished. But it was also the realization that this very unique and immensely challenging goal was going to finally become a reality. Now, what did they do? Well, they established an organizational structure that they staffed with the appropriate number of people, appropriate number of employees who possess not just the skills, but also the values that you expect. You know, as a matter of fact, Wright-Hennepin has the same number of employees they have today as they had in 1996. And in 1996, this cooperative had only 29,000 members. What else did they do? Well, they equipped those employees with the tools and equipment and technologies to allow them to be very efficient and very effective in performing their duties and responsibilities. Wright-Hennepin created and Wright-Hennepin runs successful, diversified businesses like WH Security and WH International Response. They diversified your sources of wholesale power. They reduced the cost of employee pension and benefits, and they found long-term sustainable solutions to those challenges. And they identified other areas for addressing as well. At the end of 2013, for a residential member using 1,000 kilowatt hours, the average, Wright-Hennepin's electric rates were 5% below Xcel Energy. That's quite an accomplishment. But you know what? Rates aren't everything. Exactly. Exactly. But you know what? Rates aren't everything. Your owner wishes also included an expectation for reliable electric service. Your cooperative has set and it achieves lower outage time that translates into you having electric service 99.98% of the time. And that's a pretty darn good number considering some of the winters and weather conditions you have here in Minnesota. Your owner wishes also include an expectation for outstanding customer service, helping you to manage your consumption, manage your monthly bill, provide you with different payment options, different methods of communication, and providing innovative products for the home. Independently measured member satisfaction scores show that your cooperative ranks among the best in the nation in member satisfaction. Your owner wishes also said, govern and manage this cooperative in a fiscally responsible manner. As Mike said and as Angie attested to, your cooperative has sound levels of equity. Annually, it earns appropriate amounts of margins, and it has adequate cash flows to meet current obligations. And your cooperative consistently meets all the financial requirements set forth by your lenders. You know, unfortunately, we're in an era of illegal and unethical behavior demonstrated by a lot of corporate boards. Your owner wish includes an expectation that this board, that the Wright-Hennepin board, demonstrate the highest individual and board integrity and accountability. Governance beyond reproach. You know, setting and achieving goals is no easy task, and there are a number of challenges ahead. Challenges associated with, for example, our nation's and the state of Minnesota's energy policies, such things as renewable portfolio mandates, Environmental Protection Agency regulations, the costs associated with decommissioning power plants, the rising costs of construction materials, increasing costs of other operating expenses, and economic conditions that for the last 5 years has resulted in minimal levels of growth, and that's the prediction for the foreseeable future. Now, while there are many challenges facing electric cooperatives, I'm confident that to the Wright-Hennepin Board of Directors, these challenges are opportunities, and these opportunities are what motivates them to not let these obstacles interfere with the achievement of their #1 priority, and that's translating owner wishes into organizational performance. And that's the performance that matters to you. I congratulate you on your 77th anniversary, and I thank you for letting me spend a few minutes with you here tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.